If you have ever struggled with pricing or copywriting services, this video is going to be life-changing because I am going to finally solve this problem for you. I'm going to show you exactly how to price your copywriting services. I'm going to show you which pricings would be too high. I'm going to show you which pricings would be too low. And I'm also going to show you how to price each individual service you can provide as a copywriter. And I'm going to show you the different payment options you have, meaning not just retainers and not just one-time projects. I am going to show you everything. This is the only video you ever need on pricing. So let's get straight into the full pricing guide, guys. I'm very excited to have you all here. So let's get straight into the source. Rule number 1. You never charge below $500. And yeah, the minimum price for your actual service and the normal price for a discovery project is always $500, guys. Your actual service, meaning like if you really actively work with them. And the normal price for a discovery project means this one is just a low risk offer. If the client doesn't really trust you right now, if he wants to pay a small amount first, if he really wants to see if you are actually good at the skill and if you can deliver what you've promised. So yeah, discovery project is just like getting your foot in the door, low risk for the client. And there are many reasons for not charging below $500, guys. First one being it makes you look unprofessional and small, and you don't want that because, bro, you look very tiny with just charging $200. It's such a small amount, even for business owners, bro. They are willing to charge way more for this. So yeah, second reason being they know you need to bring home the bread. They know you need to make a living for yourself. And that's already a big reason why, bro, $200 isn't enough. At least $500. And the third reason being $500 minimum is the industry standard for online service businesses, especially for one in the niche of marketing and sales. You are helping them make more money. This is extremely valuable and extremely, like a high leverage task. They will get much money back. They will have a return on investment. So at least $500, guys. Understand this. As a high value copywriter, bro, no, never under 500. So yeah. Now we will talk about payment options, guys. And after that, how to price every single service you can provide as a copywriter. Disclaimer, I will set your expectations low because this is usually what the normal pricing looks like. Of course, you can land a whale client who is going to give you way more money for each individual project, but this is a very reasonable and prolific thing I'm going to show to you, and it's not too low. It's like right in the middle. So yeah, let's get straight into the one-time projects. One-time project meaning you actively work with them, not like a discovery project, meaning like an active work project. This one is between 1K to 2K, depending on the size of the project, of course. If it's like a landing page, it will be like 1K to 2K. If it's like a whole webinar, it will be 2K to 3K. So yeah, depends on the prospect, like how big the creator is, how much money he has, and also like on how big the project is. Next up being the retainer, meaning like a monthly recurring payment, 1K to 3K a month is like the norm. The max is usually 5K. Some people pay like more. Like this is already a god type of client, like 4K to 5K. But usually it's like 1K to 3K, depending on how much you do for the business owner. Next up being project-based. My biggest client right now is an agency that gets all the clients, all the coaches and stuff, and I just fulfill the service because I'm that good. So I don't have to do any outreach to like get to those people. And yeah, I am providing a whole ass webinar for them. So a very big project. I get $2,250 per project. Yeah, and this one really depends on the size of the project, because if you just create a small lead magnet for each individual coach, of course, that's only worth like $500 or something. So depends on the size of the project. And yeah, next one being revenue share, 5% being the absolute minimum, 25% being the maximum kind of all sales made. And of course, guys, this can be higher. You will have retard business owners sometimes, but very rarely, that pitch something like, yeah, I'll take 30 or 40 or 50% of my business, but usually this won't happen. So I would aim for 10 to 20% just for setting your expectations. And yeah, I would only go with revenue share if you are already a god at your craft, meaning if you already know how to generate money for people. So otherwise you won't make money for yourself. It's very logical. And yeah, pro tip, always say the higher price first. if it's reasonable or prolific, of course. If it's like, I don't know, if you pitch something like 5K for webinar, but you have 2K in mind, that's crazy. You have to do something reasonable. Because usually it's never the first price, guys. Usually they always choose like the second price. If you say, I give you examples for this landing page being, you say 2K instead of 1.5K. They will say, okay, 2K is a little bit too much. And you say, okay, yeah, then let's go with 1.5K if you are like a little bit skeptical and so on, perfect. Webinar, say 3K instead of 2.5K and close him on 2.5K if he says no to this, Always state the higher price because it's always like the second one or third one, whatever. Now to pricing the different services, guys. Every service you can provide as a copywriter. Disclaimer, I will also set your expectations low because it can always be higher, but I will give you a reasonable, prolific range that you can work with and that you can expect because this is going to be the case in 90% of the cases. So yeah, let's start with top of funnel, meaning attention, like the traffic copywriter stuff. Ad scripts. These are always only sold in packages, meaning not just one single ad script. Most of the time it's like 3 to 4 ad scripts or something. And yeah, it's a package. You get $500 to $1,000 for this. You can also set up some offer, which is like getting paid a certain amount of money for each lead that gets converted with this funnel or something. But yeah, that's something I don't personally do. Excuse me. YouTube scripts, also like in packages for YouTube long form videos or like for YouTube short videos. Yeah, depends on like how many things, depends on how long the videos are. $500 to $1,000, usually I would say. Landing page and sales pages, these are really depending on how much money your creator has and how big the landing page is going to be. Minimum 1K to 3K. You can also charge 4K and 5K sometimes, really depending on like if you have a whale client or not. But this is like, for the most things I'm showing to you guys is like usually like the middle. Like, for this one would be maybe 2K or something is a reasonable price for a landing page. Usually like right in the middle. Lead magnet squeeze page, meaning where they opt in to actually get the lead magnet. These are like usually very small, very like easy, not much copy on there, and this one is like $500 to $1,000, depending on like how big the how much money the client got, and if it's like a video training, if it's like a free ebook, if it's like some report or something that you have to make in Canva or whatever. Really depends on the type of lead magnet and how much money your client got. Next one being the actual lead magnet. Sometimes you don't do this, sometimes the actual client does it himself. But yeah, if you do it, depending on if it's like a video training or something, $500 to $1,000 in general. Can also be like 1.5K if it's like a huge report or something, but you get the idea, right? VSL, $500 to $1,000. This usually won't happen because people want a whole landing page and the VSL is just one part of it. Then you just sell like kind of as a package. You sell like the VSL plus the landing page. If you normally would have charged 1.5K for the landing page, now you charge like 2 or 2.5K, more like 2K for like the whole page now, because it's like on the landing page, of course. Usually it won't happen that you have to do the service like single-handedly. Webinar outline being the next service won't happen as well. Because usually they want the whole funnel, they want the whole landing page, the emails and stuff. If it really happens that they just want the outline or the script for the webinar presentation, something between 1K and 1.5K, something along the lines of that. So yeah. Email sequence, there are different email sequences, but you don't sell single emails, by the way, just so you know that. Email sequence, meaning the retarget, the special offer sequence where you browse the whole email list one single time. This specific offer is a one-time payment, 1K to 3K, depending on how big the creator is and how big the existing email list is, And also, you can change, you don't have to do this, you can also like charge 5% to 25% revenue share for like every sale that this particular email sequence makes. So this is another option, but then you don't go with this one. So yeah. Next one being email newsletter. You write 4 to 8 emails per month. Retainer, depending on the size of the prospect, $500 to $2,000, and depending on the size of the email list. So yeah, can also be way more. Webinar launch, because now we come to the actual projects. Now we come to the actual things you, because usually they don't just want one marketing instrument, they want a whole sequence. They want a whole launch or funnel. For a webinar launch, this can be ads, landing page, emails, webinar outline, and a sales page. If it's like a low ticket product being pitched in a webinar, of course you have to do another sales page on the back end. If it's like a high ticket, it just has to be a type form. So yeah, these are optional because they might do the ads for themselves. They might run with the webinar organically. They might already have a webinar outline. They might pitch a high ticket. So, but these are like, this is safe to say. You always have to do these, the landing page for the webinar and the pre and post webinar emails. 1.5K to 3K, guys, at least 1.5K. Depends on the size of the prospect again, and so on. You get the point. Lead magnet funnel, this one is always a squeeze page, like where you opt in, and the automated email sequence, meaning like the welcome sequence that gets sent out when they opt in. Sometimes you do the lead magnet yourself, sometimes they already have it in place and they wanted to do it for themselves, you know. But yeah, these are like always the case. 1.5K to 3K for like setting up this whole automated email sequence, which is going to make them money every single month when people opt in. And that's why, because they make money every single month, you take 10% to 20% from each sale made with this particular welcome sequence. So yeah, you do both of these things, right? Yeah. You can go higher with this one, but then you go lower with this one. You get the idea, right? So that that was it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want more source on copywriting or outreach, feel free to join my free inner circle. If I missed anything in terms of like payments, ask in the comments or ask in the free school of mine. It's almost like a paid mentorship, but I do it completely for free. You can ask me questions. There are only 59 people in there. Free 2-hour outreach masterclass. You are going to get your first client in the next 4 to 8 weeks if you are willing to put in the work. And if you already have the service delivery dialed in. So yeah, hope to see you in there. You are still pretty early. 59 people in there will grow to hundreds or thousands of people, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.